Found this in a box at work of dual shield flux core about welding fumes. And it's not make an interesting read, especially the part where it tells you different components possibly found in welding fumes and the effect they have on the human body if you have prolonged exposure to it, of course. What is welding fume comprised of? The composition of welding fumes is dependent on the welding consumable used, the base metal, coatings, and contamination on the base metal in the welding process. Welding fume is comprised of complex oxides and compounds of welding consumable, constituents described in the next section. Gases produced from welding include carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, fluorine, nitrogen oxides, and ozone. An improved respirator must be used, unless industrial hygiene monitoring indicates regulated substances are present below applicable exposure limits. I see. Interesting. Well, I'd say most people don't even use a welding respirator. I know one person that does. Probably should, but I do not. What are potential health hazards from overexposure to welding fumes? Here's the overexposure part. Potential harmful effects from short-term overexposure are termed acute health hazards, and those from long-term overexposure are termed chronic health hazards. Acute health hazards from overexposure from welding fumes and gases include dizziness, nausea, and irritation of the eyes, nose, or throat. Chronic health hazards from overexposure include lung disease, asthma, lung deposits, or fibrosis. The International Agency for Research on Cancer has determined overexposure to welding fumes and UV radiation from welding carcinogenic to humans. To be carcinogenic to humans. Anywho. Significant acute and chronic health hazards from common constituents of welding fume are described as follows. Please note that not all listed constituents are present in all welding consumables. See SDS for a specific product. Now we get to the fun part. Constituent: barium, acute health hazards, aching eyes, headache, muscle spasms, rhinitis, wheezing. Chronic health hazards: circulatory, musculature, and nervous system disorders. Chromium 6 compounds. Acute health hazards: asthma symptoms, lung damage, respiratory tract and skin damage, skin irritation. Chronic health hazards: lung, nasal, and sinus cancer. Cobalt, acute health hazards, pulmonary and skin irritations. Chronic health hazards: pulmonary system disorders. Fluorides, bronchitis, eye and skin burns, pulmonary edema. Chronic health hazards: bone erosion, mottling of teeth, iron and iron oxides. No specific effects known. That's acute health hazards. Chronic health hazard: lung deposits. Manganese, metal fume fevers, acute health hazard. Chronic health hazard: nervous system disorder. Nickel, acute health hazards, allergic reactions, chest pain, nausea. Chronic health hazards: lung, nasal, and sinus cancer, lung deposits, or fibrosis. Silicon dioxide, which is amorphous silica. Eye, respiratory system, and skin irritants. Acute health hazards. Chronic health hazards: lung deposits. Titanium dioxide, acute health hazards, respiratory system irritation. Chronic health hazards: lung fibrosis. Additional information on welding safety is available at www.hobarbrothers.com/welding safety HTML, including the following blah 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 blah. Okay, that's a little PSA for today. Thought that was interesting, so there's that.